Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. I am Diego, and welcome to Diego Knows. Today, we're going to talk about some more Sex in the City. That's right, those ladies from New York, those ladies of the evening. Okay, only they don't get paid for it. They give it away for free. Okay, yes, those desirable middle-aged women that all they do is go out there and bang a lot of guys, and they try to justify it and explain it has to do with their emotions. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Nobody believes that shit, all right? You tell yourself whatever you got to tell yourself, all right, to get through the day. Okay, but we know it's all fucking lies. It's all fucking lies. This show is full of lies, okay? But I did enjoy the show. I did enjoy Sex and the City. It was one of my favorite shows at that time. I remember when it first came out. I had just gotten out of the Marine Corps, and I was single. I was going to college, and I was working downtown in Chicago in a big city, So I was very familiar with the ambiance, okay, the setting, the background of the show, okay, because I was living it too. I was just living it in a different city, okay. My life back then, I was in my early 20s, okay. My life was involved with, working, going to school, parties, hookups, concerts, nightclubs, taverns. I was doing acting, I was doing theater, modeling, all that shit. All my friends were in the same thing, doing the same thing I was. Okay, so we were a big social circle. Okay, you could say. So we were the ones that always went out all the time and partied, and did stuff, and we hooked up. And we did. That's what you do in your 20s. You have fun in your 20s, okay? That's what you do in your 20s, okay? So I was a good 15 years younger than the women on this show, okay? But they were doing the same thing that I was doing, okay? So I related very much to the setting, the atmosphere. I thought it was very fun to see dating from a woman's point of view. Okay, because I already knew it from my point of view. But from a woman's point of view, it was a little bit eye-opening. And the show was funny. I mean, it was well written. It really was. Okay, the jokes are in there. The non sequiturs were in there. The double entendres were all in there. So they were very good about that. I mean, obviously, a writer wrote these episodes, and it's a writer who loves writing wrote these episodes. You can tell by the way it's done, okay? And the acting was top notch. All that kind of stuff was on point. The show was very entertaining. The only problem I had with the show, I did not like the way the straight men were being portrayed. I did not like that. It was not believable to me. I didn't buy it for one fucking second. Okay, guys that I knew, okay, they're actively dating women, did not act the way the guys in the show act. They don't say the things that the guys in the show say. Okay, so my own biggest concern was that I wasn't afraid about the adult women that were watching the show because I think most of them knew better. Okay, but I was more concerned with all the 13-year-old and 14-year-old girls that were watching this show and they were thinking that this shit was going to happen to them. Okay, when they were old enough to have sex, that this is how guys really are, and it's not at all. Okay, so I'm here to separate the fact from the bullshit. Okay, I've watched every single episode of Sex and the City. All 94 episodes, I watched both movies, and I watched that piece of shit show, and just like crap, I already reviewed it. My reviews are on this channel. I might have to update. I might have to add some more on that, just because I'm learning things now. Because I decided recently, after I reviewed that piece of shit abortion of a show and just like crap, I decided I was going to watch all the old Sex and the City episodes because I love the show. I just hadn't seen it in a long time. A lot of these episodes I've not seen in 20 years or over 20 years. Okay, so watch them again. I'm kind of reliving my youth, kind of seeing the way I was back then, and I've learned a lot about the show, about the characters now than I did back then. Okay, so I'm older now, I'm wiser, you could say, more experienced, so I'm watching the show again with a new set of eyes. Okay, but what I do that nobody else does. What I do is I give you the straight man's point of view, okay? I do not bullshit here, I do not censor myself here. I'm gonna tell you the honest God fucking truth, whether you like it or not, so fucking deal with it, okay? I'm going to tell you the fucking truth, okay? I'm not your gay best friend. I'm not one of your girlfriends, okay? I'm going to tell you from a straight man's point of view what's really going on in this show, okay? Whether you like it or not. The real question is, can you handle it? Can you handle it? Because I don't think you can. But we'll see, won't we? All right. So the episode we're going to talk about today is season 6. Yeah, we're all the way to season 6. Yeah, show's almost over. This is the last season. Of course, there's fucking 55 episodes in this season. But there's a lot of episodes in this season, okay? But this is the last season of the show. Then we go to the movies, okay? So season 6, episode 9. Season 6, episode 9. The title of this episode is called A Woman's Right to Shoes. Get it? A Woman's Right to Shoes. Yeah, how very prophetic, especially in this day and age. But anyway, A Woman's Right to Shoes. That's the name of this episode. Obviously, Carrie's fascinated. All the fucking girls in this fucking show are fascinated with shoes. Who gives a fuck about shoes? I don't get it. These women do. I swear to God, they keep Manolo Blahnik in business. Unfucking believable, man. But oh well. Oh well. Okay, so it's a girl thing. All right, so anyway. So Stanford is with Carrie. They're in an elevator. They're going up to a party. They're each carrying big fucking presents. Okay, they're going to a baby party. Apparently, one of their friends, played by Tatum O'Neal, yes, the Tatum O'Neal. Okay, she plays this woman named Kira, and she's having a baby party. So she already had the baby. Okay, but now the baby's born, so now they're having a party. So everyone's got to bring a present for the baby. Okay, it's not a birthday party, but it's just a party for the baby. And apparently, this is like her 5th child or 4th child or some shit like that. Anyway, so they have to bring a present to that, okay? And they're such good friends that we're such fucking good friends with this woman named Kira that we have never seen her before on the show, and we will never see her again, ever. Okay, that's how good friends they are with Carrie. So they show up there, and that's what happens to all the friends, by the way. Whenever they do an episode, they've done plenty of fucking episodes, okay, where all the girls are such good friends with this person that we've never seen before. I guarantee you, we will never see them again. Okay, that's how good friends they are. They only show up; they've never been mentioned before, and we'll never see them again. I just had a brain fart right now. Now, if you remember, Charlotte got married in the last episode. She got married for the 2nd time to Harry. Okay, and you know who wasn't there? Her brother. Her brother was not there. Okay, her brother that we met in season 1, he didn't show up at the last wedding either. Wesley. Wesley York, remember that? Where he only showed up in one episode. He's Charlotte's brother that fucked Samantha. Remember that? Okay, he was not at Trey McDougal's wedding, and he was not at Harry Goldenblatt's wedding either. He wasn't even mentioned. And neither was Charlotte's parents. Are they even still alive? We don't know. They just they went straight to the fucking wedding. But anyway. That's not our episode, though. Okay, so that's going on here. Apparently, she's a professional photographer, so everyone had to show up at this party, and they have to bring gifts. Okay, so Stanford got her some fucking gay shit. I don't fucking know. And Carrie got her some fucking, I don't know, some gay shit, too. I don't know. The whole show's fucking gay. Anyway, Carrie got her a big fucking box, and Stanford's got a smaller box. So they get there, and they start talking about fucking the gay fucking songs that they used to listen to when they were little kids. The one they specifically point out is by Marlo Thomas, who you remember was That Girl. Yeah, remember that show, That Girl? Well, those of you who are too young, you wouldn't know that reference, okay? But the older ladies that are out there, you remember that show, That Girl. Remember with Marlo Thomas, Danny Thomas's daughter? Remember that one? Yeah, she's married to Phil Donahue now. And I know a lot of you won't know who that is either, but he was basically the fucking talk show king before Oprah showed up, all right? Yeah, that's how old I am. I know who these people are. But Marlo Thomas had some fucking hit song in 1974. I don't know the fucking name of it. It was actually like a gay pride fucking song. What's it called here? They have Beaver T. Garcia. Yeah, they have Free to Be You and Me. Free to Be You and Me. That's a song by Marlo Thomas. I guess there was a movie about it. I never fucking watched it. But Dionne Warwick was in the movie. Yeah, go figure. So Marlo Thomas, some gay pride fucking song. Before gay pride was a cool thing back in the early 70s. Yeah. And Stanford says that he played that song so much when he was growing up that he turned his little sister into a gay man because he played that song so much. All right, yeah. So we get a big fucking Carrie reminiscence about that song. Go check it out. It's on YouTube Kids. Go check it out. I actually listened to fucking the first 30 seconds of it, and that was all I could fucking handle. All right, but it's called Free to Be You and Me. Oh yeah, all it needs is a fucking rainbow flag behind it. Okay, so that's going on here. They go in there. Now, one of the rules about this party when they get there is they cannot wear shoes. They have to take their shoes off and put it there in front of the door. Carrie does not want to do this because she's wearing some fucking Manolo Blahniks, some expensive Manolo Blahniks. And of course, Stanford is dressed like he always is in his fucking weird-ass fucking clown suits that he always fucking wears with the neon colors and shit. So they have to take off their shoes before they can come in. So they come in. They sit there, they talk, they mingle, whatever, blah, blah. Like I said, Kira is a fucking photographer. That's her job. She's got kids there. Her husband's there. She talks about how she's so busy now that she can't do anything because, she's so fucking, because she's a fucking mom, and that's like her full-time job now. And one funny thing that they do mention, a couple of things. Number one, the martinis that are being served at this party, have babies where the fucking olives should be. They have baby garnishes. I thought that was fucking weird and sick at the same time. And another thing, during this party, Tatum O'Neal, Kira, she mentions something about like they couldn't get reservations to a restaurant called Nick and Tony's. And I remember that one very well because I worked at a restaurant called Nick and Tony's at that time. And a lot of the girls that I worked with were watching the show. And so when that scene came up, when she name dropped Nick and Tony's, we were all like, ah! even though the show's in New York and we're in Chicago, I guess there was more than one. I don't know. So I remember that, for all of you out there that worked with me back then, yeah. That was like our moment to shine. We had other moments too. A lot of shows were filmed in Chicago. I remember the pilot for Prison Break. When I review Prison Break, I'll talk about that. But I almost walked in on the while they were filming that pilot. Okay, because I was just going to work and there was a fucking camera crew there. Yeah, I know. Okay, so anyway, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, the point is I mentioned that because that's personal to me. Okay, so that's going on here. Meanwhile, Miranda's having a tenant meeting. Like I said, she owns her own apartment in her apartment building. She owns her own apartment. So she's meeting with all the other tenants. They have an empty apartment in her building. Okay, so all the other tenants that own their own apartments, they're all sitting there in a meeting. They're going to decide whether or not to allow a new person to move into the empty apartment and buy the empty apartment. Okay, now you got a mixture of people here. We've got old ladies, young people, whatever, different races, whatever. And so Miranda's there. She doesn't really want to do this. She wants to get back upstairs to be with her baby. She wants to get this thing over with quickly. Well, the guy shows up and it ends up being Blair Underwood. Yeah. Mr. Sexy Suave Man himself, okay? He's like a poor man's Idris Elba today, okay? It's basically what he is. He's the smooth guy, a lot of you fucking remember him from, I guess, was he on EO? I don't fucking know. He's been on a lot of fucking TV shows. Who gives a fuck? I don't care. I just remember him where he fucking played I'm Not O.J. Simpson in a movie with Sean Connery, okay, and Lawrence Fishburne. And Kate Capshaw, yeah, Steven Spielberg's wife was in that movie too. I forgot the name of it. But basically it's about this black guy who gets tortured by the cop, Lawrence Fishburne, and they torture him to get a confession that he actually raped a little girl and killed a little girl. And then Sean Connery's the lawyer that shows up. I don't know why they have Scottish lawyers in fucking in New Orleans, but apparently they do. So he shows up there to defend this guy because he thinks he was framed. He thinks he was forced into confessing. And then it turns out that he fucking actually really did do it. Okay, even though he got set free, he actually really did do it, so they got to chase him down. And he's dressed just like OJ the entire fucking movie. Unfucking believable. But anyway, yeah, I pointed that out. Okay, yeah, he said some other shit. He was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and said, y'all know who Blair Underwood is. He was like a fucking, like the sexiest black man on TV or some shit. Anyway, Miranda's fucking, she's creaming in her jeans the moment he walks in the door. Okay, she's like, oh, who are you? And he tells everyone, hey, listen, his name is Dr. Robert Leeds. Okay, and she says, "Oh, are you a doctor? Oh, I'm a doctor, sports doctor for the Knicks. Yeah, he's a basketball doctor. Holy fucking shit! Yeah, he's a sports doctor. That's a kick-ass job. Now if you saw that movie Trainwreck with fucking Amy Schumer, she dates a sports doctor in that movie, played by Bill Hader. From Saturday Night Live, okay? And that guy's like a fucking limp dick pussy who doesn't fuck any women at all. Like, he only falls in love with fucking Amy Schumer because that would happen in real life. The reason I point that out is because in real life, a guy like that would be up to his ass in fucking Kardashians, okay? All the fucking way. Oh, yeah, all the fucking way, But this guy's like, he's all smooth and suave, I'm Dr. Leeds. Trying to do his best Billy D. Williams impersonation. And so he's there. Miranda's fucking creaming all over him, asking him questions. She reminds us that she is a baseball fan, not a basketball fan. Remember that? Yeah. Remember she loves the Yankees, not the Mets. He's like, oh, you're one of those Yankee people, whatever, So that kind of they're flirting with each other. Now the tenants actually want to talk about the issues here. Okay, let's talk about. And Miranda's like, no, we will get to that later. Okay, we'll get to that later. Meanwhile, I want to talk to our new tenant here, and she just like shuts that woman down and keeps flirting with this guy. No one's going to interrupt Miranda in her flirting. So Miranda's back to form, being a bitch as usual, okay, after what she wants, okay? So that's going on here. Meanwhile, back at the party that Carrie's at, they have to leave. They've been there too long. Carrie notices, she makes this little joke about like, oh yeah, it's midnight. We got to get going, because Stanford here is gay and he's got to get his evening started. Okay, so they go over there and someone took her shoes. Carrie's shoes are missing. I remember she couldn't wear her shoes in the party. They had to take their shoes off at the front door. Her Manolo Blahniks are missing. And she's like, oh my God, what happened? And Tatum O'Neal's Kira, she says, oh, maybe one of the other guests that left already, maybe they took it by accident, Don't worry, they'll turn up again. No, I'll give you some shoes to wear on your way home. Okay. So it gives her these furry loafers, and fucking Carrie cannot handle walking in those. Okay. She really misses her fucking Manolo Blahniks. Like, that's like the focus of this episode. That's the MacGuffin here. Okay. And also, the reason they probably lost the shoes is because everyone's getting fucking stoned. Kira's husband is just fucking smoking a doobie the size of a fucking cigar. Yeah, that kind of tells you about who was writing these episodes, okay? So Carrie leaves. She's all fucking pissed off about the shoes being gone. Yeah, so she complains. She complains about it to everyone else there. Okay. Meanwhile, at the tenant meeting, he leaves. Blair Underwood's character leaves. Robert leaves. He leaves. Of course, Miranda's flirting with him the whole fucking time, you know. And then she turns around and she talks to the other tenants. Goes, okay, let's talk about this guy. I don't think he's a good fit for our building. Then what? What's wrong with him? Well, first of all, according to his financial statements here, he's paying a lot of money in alimony. I don't think he can afford to live here. Number one, he's paying a lot in alimony. Number two, he's never owned a place before. Okay, so he doesn't know what the responsibilities are to owning his own place. And the other one was number three, he's single. Okay, single. So this old lady goes like, that means he's going to be having a lot of wild parties in the building, you know. And of course, Miranda sees right past through all those valid reasons. Says like, oh, I think we know the real reason. Okay, you don't want him to move in here. Yeah, very, very 2022 right there. Okay, and we all know what the fucking reason is. Okay. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit, man. You know, if you got the money to pay for it, you should fucking live there, okay? But I think Miranda's making this into something, you know, a BLM thing back in 2003. Yeah, pretty much. Okay. So meanwhile, Carrie complains about she complains at brunch, okay, with the other girls about her missing shoes, you know, and Miranda tells Carrie that, hey, you know what? Legally, you know, Kira should pay you for those shoes, you know, because someone stole them on her property, you know. And so Samantha compares shoes to babies. Oh, missing shoes, missing babies. It's all the same fucking thing, you know. I understand your trauma, Carrie. You know, it's like, you know, if a baby's missing, I'd be pissed off too. Just like I would be pissed off if my shoes were missing, you know. And Charlotte's like, you cannot compare shoes to a baby. To a child, okay? And then Samantha just goes off. She's like, I'm fucking sick and tired of seeing people with their fucking children everywhere. This place here is for double cappuccinos, not double strollers. Look at that little rugrat over there with shit on his face. You know, there's a little kid, of course, in the place, you know, there. Oh, okay, we get it, Samantha. You fucking hate little kids. You hate little kids. I think it has a lot to do with your childhood. Honestly, how ironic is that? But I think it does, okay? But yes, Samantha hates little fucking kids. She hates babies too, okay? Yes, she'll never win Mother of the Year, all right? That's some fucking coat hanger fucking mommy dearest shit if you ever give fucking Samantha a baby. All right, so that's going on here. And then she looks at Miranda and she goes like, oh, I'm sorry, because, you know, Miranda's a single mom. Of course she is. Miranda says like, I'm not bringing my baby into this place, Samantha. I would never bring him here. I don't fucking like kids either, except my own. Yeah, you know, I don't even think you like your own, honestly, Miranda. You think you're a piece of shit fucking parent, too, okay? And then, of course, Charlotte takes over the conversation now. She talks about, like, hey, you know, Harry and I are living together now. He moved into my place. I didn't move into his place. He moved into my fucking multi-million-dollar apartment that my other ex-husband left me for free. Yeah, he moved in with me, you know. And there's one thing that's really bothering me is he's leaving, is this teabag situation that we have. And Samantha's like, oh, just breathe through your nose. And they're like, what? So, well, just breathe through your nose. She said, I'm not talking about that. Oh, okay. Well, that's what I thought you meant, teabag, you know. She's like, no, I mean, every time he makes tea, he leaves the teabag on the counter, he leaves it on the table, he leaves it on the floor, he leaves it on the chair, and I got to go around, pick up these teabags and throw them in the trash. Like that, I guess that's a real fucking problem for rich white people, you know. Yeah, so that's her problem, okay? And then, of course, Samantha's like, you know, just, you know, so Carrie's like, basically changes the conversation. And she goes like, hey, you know what? I just lost my appetite. Let's go back to talking about my shoes. Okay, next scene is Harry there with Charlotte, of course. And of course, he's doing it again. He's leaving tea bags everywhere, okay? And Harry's finding like, hey, you know, we need to have a talk, Harry. Okay, this tea bag situation, okay? You're leaving your tea bags everywhere. You just left it right there on the counter in front of me, and I'm tired of walking around and picking up tea bags all over the apartment. You know, it gets things dirty. It stains stuff, you know, and I'm tired of doing it, okay? You really need to, like, take your tea bags and throw them in the trash and quit leaving them everywhere. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Charlotte. My bad. I won't do it again. I thought I was being a perfect husband here, but now I realize that I'm making a bunch of mistakes. I'm so sorry about that, Charlotte. You know what? I guess I'm like a bull in a china shop, Charlotte. I'm so sorry, my sweetest, my dearest, my lovely one. I swear I'll never do that again. Brrr. That's a bull, by the way. Okay, yeah, that's the kind of relationship they have. Very, very believable. Okay, so anyway, Miranda bumps into Robert in the elevator, okay? And, of course, she tries to flirt with him, you know? And, you know, and he points out that he gets close to her and he points out you've got a pox, What? Says, you got a pox, like right here. Okay, she's got a chicken pox. Okay, which means she's gonna get a lot more. Okay, apparently her son Brady has the chicken pox. He's like a little over a year old. Okay, so he's got the chicken pox, so now she never had them, so now she's getting them. Okay, so he offers to take her groceries and go. He goes into her apartment. She lets him into her apartment. Okay, Magda's there watching the baby. Okay, and he goes up to the baby. Oh, look at that! And he picks up the baby and starts, hugging the baby and stuff. Which would be weird. I mean, you want some strange man to be picking up your baby. I know he's not strange because he moved into the building, and he actually thanks her for that. I think he had something to do with it. And she's like, yeah, I guess I did. Because like I said, the other tenants did not want him to move in. Okay, and he's playing with the baby, and Miranda's just fucking horny. That's it. She's just fucking horny. She's being a selfish fucking bitch. Just like all the other women. I'm sorry, but they are. I love these women, but they're not perfect. I got to point out their flaws when I see them doing it. And they're selfish, okay? Carrie's selfish. Samantha, they're all selfish, okay? And Miranda is very selfish too. And I understand why she's acting this way. She's fucking horny. She hasn't got laid in a long time, okay? Because she got fat, and she fucking, she's really not that attractive. Okay? I mean, her personality just fucking sucks. The only way she can get a guy is to act nice, pretend to be nice. But that's not who she really is. So she's not comfortable being like that. Okay? She's just fucking horny. That's why she's acting nice right now to this guy. Okay? Because she wants to fuck him. All right? That's good. So he puts like peroxide on her pox, and because he's a doctor, remember? He's qualified to do this. And then he leaves. Okay? And Magda's there. So that's going on here. Okay? Yeah, so meanwhile, Carrie goes back to Tatum O'Neal's house, to Kira's house, and what the fuck is she wearing? I swear to fucking God, I've seen her wear some fucked up shit, and if you notice, I've not pointed out her shit in a long time, okay? But this, I just gotta fucking say something. She's wearing a fucking summer dress with flowers on it, red flowers on it, and she's wearing a fucking bow tie. Who the fuck wears a bow tie? And she's wearing it crooked. What the fuck? How the fuck am I supposed to take you seriously, Carrie? And this is supposed to be like a dramatic scene here. How the fuck am I supposed to take you seriously when you look like fucking Pennywise the Clown? I don't know what the fuck. I was just watching a movie the other night with my son, and there was clowns in it. And those clowns look more conservative than Carrie does right fucking now. Unfucking believable. The fucking, but where's the bow tie over here? With a summer dress on. Open shoulders. This is stupid, and I'm not even a fashion aficionado. I don't fucking know shit about female fashion. I just know what looks good and what doesn't look good, and this looks fucking stupid as fuck, and no one ever calls her out on her shit here. No one ever calls her out on her fucking horrible fashion choices. No one on the show ever fucking tells her, you look fucking stupid. You know why? Because the show is written by gay guys, lesbians, and feminists. And for them, she's a fucking queen. She's no fucking queen in my world. She looks fucking idiot. I'd be fucking embarrassed to take her out looking like that. I would. Now, I wouldn't tell her that. I'd be like, sorry, my stomach hurts. I gotta go. Okay, that's what I would do. Okay, I wouldn't tell her what I just said. But that's what I would be thinking. Abso-fucking-lutely. Anyway. So I'm supposed to take her seriously in this dramatic scene where she's got a fucking bow tie sticking out of her fucking neck. It's just dumb. Dumb. All right. So she goes back there and she says like, hey, I'm a shoe detective now. Any news about my shoes? And she's like, Kira's like, no one's called me. No one said anything. They haven't turned up. Oh, I don't know what to tell you. And she's like, oh, okay. Well, I know what you're thinking, Carrie. I am being so terrible here. I should really pay you for those shoes that you lost. I should offer to pay for those shoes, shouldn't I? Come on in, I'll write you a check. And she's like, okay. So she comes in there, and she's like, oh, so how much are those shoes again, Carrie? And she's like, $485. She's like, what? $485? That's how much they cost? Like, that's insane. Who the hell wears shoes like that? That cost $485. Tell you what, Carrie, come on. I'll give you $200 for them, all right? And she's like, they're $485. This is a weird conversation we're having here, Kira, okay? And you know they're expensive because you used to wear them. She's like, but that was before I had a real life, Carrie. I have kids and I have responsibilities, okay? And $485 is insane. Wow. And Carrie's like, I have a real life too. No offense, okay? But me and my husband, we should not have to pay for your extravagant lifestyle. It was your choice, okay, to purchase expensive shoes. Yeah, but it wasn't my choice to take them off. You made me take them off before I could come in here. Oh, come on, Terry. It's just shoes. Oh, you can't say that on this show. No way. Okay, so anyway, so Carrie calls Miranda and goes like, she shoe shaved me. And Miranda's covered in chicken pox and she's fucking scratching them. And she looks like shit. What else is new? She looks like shit. All right, she's scratching her chicken pox, you know. She goes, she's a bitch. She's a bitch. Yeah, well, it takes one, doesn't it, Miranda? Okay. And then Carrie asks, she says like, Miranda says like, I'm over here watching the Jules and Mimi marathon. I'd really be suffering. I'd really be in hell if it wasn't for this TV show that I'm watching. And it's that TV show about the interracial couple that she always watches, Jules and Mimi. He's like the black guy and the white girl, and they're all fucking. So this is obviously turning her on. And now she's thinking about the fucking, about Blair Underwood's character. Okay, so Carrie says like, so yeah, by the way, how is that cute black man? What's going on with that? And no, why did she say that? Okay, why did she have to say that? Okay, that kind of bothered me when I heard it. Okay, why didn't she just say, what about that man that moved into your building? Why didn't she just say that? Why did she have to say, what about that black man that moved into your building? I mean, what the fuck does this color have anything to do with it? You know, it really doesn't. It kind of bothered me. If you're white, you wouldn't say, what about that white man that moved into your building? You wouldn't say that, would you? No. So why the fuck would you say, what about that black man that moved into your building? Okay, I think only one guy moved into her building. Okay, so it's not like she would be confused with the other guys. That just kind of bothered me. I don't really think that, that their race has anything to fucking do with it. But, I guess it does to them. And she's like, oh, well, I can't really see him right now because I'm covered in chicken pox, and she's like, okay, well, that's cool. By the way, that's nice, Miranda. Shut the fuck up. What I really wanted to ask you was, do you really think that my life is missing because I have shoes in it instead of children? Yeah, because that's how Carrie is. She's very. It's all about her. It's always about her and her problems. Okay, so the thesis of this episode is: when did we stop being free to be you and me? When did we stop being free to be you and me? That's the lyrics from that song from Marlo Thomas that I mentioned earlier. Okay. So what they're really talking about here is like, we stopped celebrating each other's choices in life, okay, and started qualifying them. In other words, like, when do we stop making decisions about what we did, about what we want to do in life, and started having to justify the decisions that we already made? Okay, why are we where we are right now? Why do we have to fucking justify where we are right now in life, okay, to people? Why do we feel that we have to do that? It's like, because our life didn't end up the way that we wanted it to. Why do we feel that we have to find excuses to justify why we're not where we want to be, or where we thought we were going to be? Well, it has to do with like insecurity, life choices, and midlife crises right there. Okay. So we stopped celebrating each other's choices and started having to qualify them. Okay, so Charlotte sees Harry walking around the apartment naked. Yeah, he's fucking buck-ass naked walking around the apartment. It's kind of freaking her out. He's still drinking his tea, but he walks in there. He's singing... He walks in there naked. He's singing "Mac the Knife," that song, that was famous by Anne Margaret sang it famously when she was doing her fucking leotard dance. Okay, so he's singing "Mac the Knife," whatever, buck ass naked. Carrie's like, Charlotte's all flicked out, like, are you gonna take a shower? He's like, I will later. Okay, now of course everything in the apartment is beige. Okay, so he walks into the kitchen, sits down on a beige chair, and just watches TV, buck ass naked, drinking his fucking hot tea, looking at Charlotte and blowing her kisses. Completely oblivious to the fact that he's walking around naked and that he's going to get fucking shit stains on the fucking furniture. Completely oblivious to that fact, okay? No normal guy would ever think that when they're walking around fucking naked, right? I guess on this show they do. Okay, all right. Okay, so that's going to end part one of this review for this episode, and I will be back very shortly for part two. Thank you for watching this long, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.